Hello everybody and welcome back to Crusader Kings, where we had some awkward successions and then a disillusion war, and now our brother, who is the Emperor of Guinea and stole most of our territory, also has his own disillusion war. Now, we've declared our own war on our claim on the High Kingdom of Guinea. I expect this to go away basically immediately, and we're going to have to recreate this. This is definitely a setback, but we'll see what happens here. If we can pull it off, great, but I highly doubt that this will happen. Yes, war invalidated the moment we raised up. Okay, so this is what we end up seeing here. Well, we should have a claim here. Do we have a claim on all of these? We don't. Okay, so we're going to have to recreate that, but we definitely want to go after our claim on Borgu. Absolutely. We're going to declare that, and we're going to 1,000% go in and take Borgu. This is incredibly important to us. We absolutely need to have it. So in we go. This is a setback, but we'll be able to rebuild this without any major problems. But yeah, that disillusion was awkward. Our brother unfortunately failed his disillusion war. We, of course, succeeded ours. But we'll see what ends up happening here. We're going to take this siege. That's going to be a significant chunk of war score. It may or may not end it, though. I think we need to capture our brother for it to end. But all of this territory we want to be ours. Now, we're on learning focus. That's fine. We're currently only 9, and we're at 1 out of 6 domain. That's not too bad. Our support from Regent is not terrible. Okay. We want to get as much stewardship and learning as we can. So diplomacy and intrigue is not really what we care about. Piety would be interesting here. We could be humble. I guess that's okay. So let's see what we get here. We actually captured our brother, so that is perfect. We're going to enforce those demands and disband these troops. Now, unfortunately for us, he is now our vassal. And we need to revoke the title, but we have a truce with him. So that's, not necessarily great. What else can we do about this? Well, we could imprison him. We're not at least 14, so we can't kill him. But we need to take this territory, right? So this territory needs to be held by us directly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we want to hold everything here personally. So that'll be fine. This guy, unfortunately, controls a little bit more than we'd like him to. But next, we need to start looking at Guinea. Now, we don't need to hold this ourselves. We can't do a kingdom invasion. We could theoretically do a subjugation. We would need a lot more prestige for that. That is one way that we can get that back under our control. I want to take a look at Gur. This claim is just a chiefdom. Okay, out over this way, these claims, chiefdom, Great Temple. A number of claims there, but nothing significant. Sure. So, yep, we're definitely going to have to put back the Empire of Guinea. That's okay. We can make our way through there. For the time being, I think we should probably... We need to build up prestige levels, for sure. What's our legitimacy at? We're just short of 4. So, to that end, we could definitely create the Duchy of Takrur, which we'll do. That will give us enough legitimacy to be considered a legitimate ruler. I'm going to grant this guy, who is currently in prison, the Duchy of Takrur. There we go. And he is our correct religion. So that's okay. We'll give him that. And that puts our legitimacy up past level 4. So minus 10% short reign duration. That's really good. We'd love to get up to ordained, but for the time being, that's not going to be a thing. So currently, we can negotiate an alliance with our brother, but yeah, we don't want to do that. We want to hold his territory. So for the time being, this is fine. We could imprison him. We would lose 20 legitimacy for that. Only this guy would join. I'm doing it. So that looks good. We're going to lose 20 legitimacy, but we'll still stay up above level 4. So let's raise up our troops here, and we're going to fight this kid again. Beautiful. So we're going to head right on in, with the goal being imprisoning him. So now we're going to have a way to do this, right? This guy, or rather this lady, is that a guy or a girl? I don't actually know. It doesn't matter. Either way, this is acceptable. We'll take the cash. What do we got here? This guy is acceptable. We'll take that cash too. So they can group up all they want. That's absolutely fine. How are we doing on our culture? I want to take a quick look here. Okay, 5 years and 20 years. Sounds good. So they're going to attack our capital, looks like. I am 1,000% all right with that. So we're going to take these guys, basically our high-quality troops, plus whatever mercs we happen to still have on hand. And we're going to take those up over here to defend our capital. Fantastic. In the meantime, these guys are going to continue their siege. So this is probably a stack wipe up here if we can catch this force, which indeed we can do. Our mercenary contract is expiring soon enough, but we've gotten good use out of them. So that was indeed a stack wipe. We're going to walk over here, and we can walk up here and start this siege. These guys are going to siege here, though. We might as well chase them down. Seems okay. So we've occupied their capital, and 150 prestige is absolutely something that we want here. Excellent. So they are running away from us. That's not shocking. And we're going to finish up this siege here. Basically, all we're trying to do right now is put together our personal realm. That is our primary goal, and then we'll go after these again. Now, some of these might end up... Okay, that's a war against tyranny war. Sure, that's all fine. We're going to attack these guys here. That may end up ending the war. Either way, between these two, I expect it to end. 36. It's going to be close. We didn't stack wipe it. So he's going to retreat somewhere back over here. Okay, so because we didn't stack wipe him, that's not going to be quite as much as I'd hoped. But it would have only been an additional 7%. So, okay. We should have ticking war score very soon, though. He's going to be retreating here, isn't he? No, he's retreating down here. Okay. Noted. I'm just watching his movement for right now. He's just staying put there. So we could get diplomacy or martial or further our learning education focus. And that's what we're going to take. Beautiful. I'm going to come over to these guys. I'm going to leave behind no one at all. I want to come stack wipe this guy. I want to eliminate him as a fighting force. We're at 75% war score right now. We're not going to capture their leader, obviously. But we can certainly make our way on down here and look to catch this guy while we're sieging here. I'm a little surprised ticking war score hasn't kicked in yet. Oh, there it goes. Cool. So that is perfect. So we now find ourselves maxed at war score. Or battle war score, I should say. We're not going to get any more battle war score, I don't think. Yeah, that's capped to 50. That is expected. So we need 15%. We're going to get about 11 from this, and then we have some ticking. I guess that's fine. Absolutely okay. So let's just wrap up this siege. About 50 days on that. Looks good. 10 days left. That was a good siege event. And there we go. War is over. We'll enforce those demands. He technically could refuse this, but there we go. We'll take a pet cat. Absolutely. And we'll name it Mike. Fantastic. So now we can disband this force. This kid is now imprisoned. We can revoke a title from him, except that we still have a truce. So when is our truce with him going to be up? Now, technically, he just declared on us. It's going to be 4 years before we can take this back. Unless we want to execute him. We would lose 100 legitimacy for him. It wouldn't be tyranny, because he did revolt against us. But we would lose 100 legitimacy due to being a kinslayer. So instead, I'm simply going to move him to the dungeon, and we'll see if he survives the dungeon. He's in poor health right now. We would like to inherit his territory. But if the time wears out and he's still alive, then we'll do it that way. We can race on stilts, I suppose. It doesn't matter either way. It's completely irrelevant whether we win or lose. So that's fine. So our Diarch's loyalty is currently self-interested. Polite reminders, huh? Sure. So our regent is more powerful right now. We're, of course, going to need to start to sway him, but we're not 12 years old at this moment. So that's okay. 10 gold is acceptable. That is a vassal, so no. 100 gold is acceptable. That is a vassal, so no. And 50 gold is acceptable. That'll be fine. Cool. So next up, we, of course, need to start dealing with some of this problem, right? So Guinea needs to come under our control. You have a pressed claim, but you're leasing holdings from their liege. Let's take a look at a con and see what we've got going on here. There's a lot of claimants here. 170 reasons, 65 reasons, 295, 175, 230, 220, and this is getting even less likely, and 100 reasons. Okay, so probably not going to end up happening. Let's check out Gur here and see what ends up happening here. A lot of these are the same people. That's intriguing for sure. Okay. So taking a look at Guinea here, in order to recreate that, we'll need a lot. That Disillusion War was poorly timed for us. Unfortunately, there's just not a lot we can do about that. At this point, I feel like all we can do is wait to get territory back from our brother. Okay, so we could be any sexuality that we choose to be. It doesn't really matter, to be honest. Any of these are fine. However, the heterosexual fertility bonus is generally useful, so we'll go that regard. That said, wait a sec. We just lost our claim on the Kingdom of Borgu? Okay. Well, we're going to hold the Kingdom of Borgu. Don't we hold the Kingdom of Borgu? Yes. We hold the Kingdom of... Well, we hold a pressed claim on the Kingdom of Borgu. The Kingdom of Borgu itself is destroyed. And we don't hold counties there on the Kingdom of Borgu. Interesting. So that's out over here. Within a con. Gotcha. So we have a pressed claim on the Kingdom of Borgu, but we don't appear to be able to actually utilize that. Which is all very intriguing. No doubt about that. I'm not sure exactly what's going on with that one. It might just be because we're not of age, but I don't think so. I don't think that's the way that works at all. Well, for the time being, like I said, we're primarily interested in getting our personal duchy back in order. So that is mission number 1 here. This would be our vassal becoming our victim. Done. That'll teach him for being so annoying. So our heir is our brother. But I do want to get rid of this guy. He's in poor health right now, and he will eventually die. No doubt about that. We'll take 75 prestige. Absolutely. Getting some prestige is good. And the question now becomes... when is our truce up with him? 3 years is the answer. So the question is, will he die in the next 3 years from being in the dungeon? I don't know. However, our regent is being an absolute jerk. No doubt about that. We'll just increase our marshal by 1 here. That'll be fine. And I would like to swing the scales against him. It's a bit of a problem. We could be content here. That would be +2 learning, which would be pretty good for us. -1 intrigue. We could also be fickle. That would be minus stewardship. We definitely don't want that. Or we could be trusting. So we're going to take content, which will be plus learning. That'll be fine. Okay. So we're mostly just sitting and waiting at this point. There's not a lot to be done. We can check in at our development. Our development is currently 13 in our capital. So that is definitely going pretty well there. This ransom is acceptable, and this ransom is also acceptable for right now. But we're not currently attacking Guinea, Gur, or Akan. Okay, we could get a crush on this girl. I suppose that's okay. She at least isn't a commoner. She only wanted to be friends. Okay, fair enough. So we've got this guy. He's our prisoner. He's not a direct report to us. So we accept that. We'll take his gold. That's absolutely fine. No problem whatsoever there. Checking in on our truce. Still 3 years. 3 July of 1957. That's a very different year from 957 indeed. Okay, so we knew you were good for something, I'm sure, but diplomacy challenge? Basically nothing is going to happen. Sure. So 100 gold. This guy's our vassal, though. I'm not going to accept that. I want to keep him imprisoned for now, where we can keep an eye on him. This is fine. I guess we gained a rival, but sure. What else do we have here? So we could become chaste. That's probably bad. We could become lustful, which is probably good. And that's what we'll do. So that looks good. This is an acceptable ransom. Fantastic. Might gave us 2 gold, which is always great. And of course, we are nearly done with this truce. Or I say nearly, but there's still another 2 years on it. 3 July 957. Interesting that it's down to 2 years right now. I guess it is rounding rather than, like, ceilinging, if you know what I mean. It's just kind of strange on the rounding. Okay, so next up would be wars, for sure. Yes, our father and regent is getting influential, and this is not great. We probably should do this. We can leverage gold against him, but there's only so much we can do about this. It's a very long cooldown, and we can't do this very frequently. So we can start working on swaying our father, which I would like to do, in hopes that he no longer is self-interested. But for now, this ransom is acceptable, this ransom is acceptable, and this ransom is also acceptable. So that all looks good, and our capital is now at a development of 14, which is good. And looking in at our innovations, well, we can just say this was fun. That's fine. And currency will be done in 3 years here. Average development has come up somewhat, so that's good. 17 years yet on barracks. Okay. Well, our regent is less powerful now, so that's good. He's still self-interested, of course, and we want to boost this up. He's upset because we declared war on his child, threw his family member in the dungeon, and he's frustrated. Okay. Apparently he likes our brother far more than he likes us. I guess that's fine. The King of Mali is not going to be released, and currently, checking in on that truce, 19 months remain. Cool. So that's looking solid. Gifts for the High King, huh? I would rather the entrenched regency swing towards us for right now. Although he would be annoyed. This would gain him opinion of us. And we would get 150 prestige. I'll take it. However, it's not great for the power sharing, right? But the opinion, I think, is probably worth it. But that'll mostly be from swaying that we're going to get his opinion up. So his loyalty is currently self-interested. Personality has compassion for child minus 100? Yikes. Okay, he's on swell armies right now. Let's put him on fill coffers or promote authority, maybe. No, I think fill coffers will be fine. So that's okay, and we're going to want to get our brother out of here soon enough. His health is still poor, but for now, we're mostly just waiting on this truce, right? We'll see if he dies. If he doesn't, then okay. So this ransom is acceptable. Our prisoner, and actually it's not acceptable. He's our vassal. What am I talking about? I would love to attack Guinea. The subjugation would be interesting. It would cost us 1250 prestige. So we would definitely need to get a good amount of prestige there. I feel like the subjugation would be the way to go. Would we rather subjugate a Khan or Guinea, though? That would be very interesting. How many overall counties would this be, though? Does it say how many counties they possess under them in their title? That would be very convenient. I don't think it does. Okay. Well, we'll definitely have to work on that. Gur is also not exactly under the correct control. We'll have to work on that as well. That said, our truce is going to be up in 10 months. Maybe we should attack Gur here. So we could attack Gur and go for something like a duchy conquer over here just to get this truce on cooldown. So we could do that, and we would raise up our forces here. There we go. And I'm a little surprised that we don't see them. Okay. It's fine. So I'm going to split off all of our levy forces here. Going to select that, split it in half. Going to send half of them down to here. I'm not going to pay to recruit anybody, but we'll just do something like this. Yeah, you can be there, and then you can maybe head up over here. I don't... Oh, there's their army. Maybe we can head down here. Okay, we'll pay the Royal Court a visit. We don't have to do this, but it's fine. 10 court grandeur is okay, though. How dare you? I would never sell mine. Actually, for 6 court grandeur, I guess we'll sell our cat. I don't want to sell our cat, but I guess we'll do it. Okay, I'd like to come out over here and fight these guys. That would be ideal. I don't think it's going to end up happening. Like, we're pretty far off here. Oh, they stopped. They didn't have to stop there, but yeah, sure, we'll fight them then. Looks great. So we'll eliminate that. We've got these 2 sieges going simultaneously. We can come up here and stack wipe this army, hopefully, and then walk back and siege their capital with this force. That would be the overall concept here. Now, we're definitely short on prestige, but I'm not too concerned about that right now. So for the moment, it seems relatively okay. This guy's opinion of us, of course, needs to be brought up a lot. Oh, they are walking back this way. We missed them. I did not notice that. Looks like we're going to catch them in the mountains here, so that seems fine. Let's head up and grab their capital. This could end the war, I suppose. But it would be very close. Yeah, that does end the war. Perfect. Finishing up that battle, and let's enforce those demands and disband our troops. So we don't necessarily want to hold these ourselves, but we might as well, at least until such a time as we're able to take back our proper territory, which is in 20 days. So I'm going to grant this out. This does not even have to be held by us. We're going to grant that out right now. And our truce is going to be up now. Perfect. So this kid is still imprisoned, and we're going to revoke his title. We're going to revoke all of his titles. We can only do one at... Oh, this is going to cost us prestige? 109 prestige to do that. Remarkable. I wonder if there's a better way to do this. So this is the Duchy of Worodugu. Noted. So we have the kingdom title of Kong, correct? Yes, we do. Okay. So I do want to revoke that from this guy. So we could certainly do that, but this is apparently costing us 109 prestige. I did not realize that that was a thing. So that's definitely noted. And this apparently has... Yeah, let's go ahead and repair that. That'll be fine. So we're going to need a fair amount of prestige to make that happen. And that, of course, means that we should hold a grand tournament. Unfortunately, we're a child, and we can't really do that. So what can we do for additional prestige? Well, we could visit a university, but that doesn't help us either because we're a child. We don't have a body to... Well, we do have a body to bury, but maybe we could get some legitimacy? Nope. We don't have a body to bury. Okay, so how are we going to get some prestige here? We need a fair amount of it to do this. I don't think that used to be the case. I think that's a change. Well, we could just kill him. We're not going to execute him, but, I mean, he's in poor health right now, right? So that is a theoretical option. He could just die. And we could get it that way. If we banish him, he's deposed. Would that then go to us? I don't actually know that. We are his primary heir. Let's try it and see what happens. Yes, it did indeed go to us. Perfect. So that is exactly what I wanted to see. Now we need to revoke the titles from this guy, which he won't accept. How many people would join him? Not very many. However, we don't have the prestige to revoke this title. We need to get all 3 of these revoked, and that means that we need a good amount of prestige. We could raid for it, but it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are going to start to get these back under our control. I think we're going to need to raid Guinea for the prestige, and then get these 3 back under our control. Then we can start the reconquest of Guinea at that point. Awkwardness, no doubt, but we're getting there. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALDS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Kentogan, Ali Lee, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12 UK, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.